Anxiety, depression, suicide. Effects of a mental health crisis. Hi, I'm Roa Hassan, the 2022-23 student member of the Baltimore County Board of Education. Since the beginning of 2020, we've seen the subject of mental health covered with intensity. The issues, aftermath, and the solutions slowly creeping out of the dark and into public conversation. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and with that, there is no better time to highlight what BCPS students, faculty, and staff are doing to open the conversation and say, let's talk about it. When someone recognizes that they or someone they care about is in crisis, the question is, how do I fix this? How can I help? What can I do? A group of student leaders is eliminating guesswork by putting resources at the fingertips of those in need.
Today, I'm delivering our mental health pamphlets from the Outstanding Young Women Leaders Group.
We recognized that a lot of people in our community needed assistance or help, but didn't know how to reach out and didn't understand if they were the only ones going through it. So we decided to create this project, which we can distribute to a variety of schools with a variety of different people, hopefully so that we can reach out to someone in need.
Personally, through COVID, I struggled really bad with my mental health. When we came up with this idea, we wanted to spread awareness to mental health because people don't feel comfortable to talking about mental health, so that's our title, Let's Talk About It. Because it's okay to talk about mental health and it's important and it's not something that you shy away from.
Inside of it are resources, there's warning signs defining what's mental health. We have a QR code linking to our social media, our Instagram, which I run, which is dedicated to mental health advocacy and literacy, which is what our project is really about, teaching people what mental health is, what are the components, and how to get help when you need it.
Being able to get from them, to really tease out of them, what are some issues that are important to you as a group and as individuals? The mental health issue was extremely important to them.
It was an overwhelming choice. Often when we give them a choice of topic, there's multiple different things that they're interested in. This was overwhelming. These are insightful young women that understand that they can be successful with their content and their academics, but if they are not socially emotionally well and their peers are not socially emotionally well, they're never going to reach that highest point that they can reach.
To be able to reach out to students and let them know that they're heard and that there are resources available for them if they need help. They are not alone in their struggles, and it might seem like you're going through it alone and that no one else understands how you're feeling, but there's a lot of people that do.
Crisis and suicide in school led one BCPS student to take matters into her own hands. With the help of her classmates at Delaney High School, she wants to ensure not another life is lost. Not on our watch.
I go to Delaney High School and I'm the president and founder of NOW, standing for Not on Our Watch. NOW is a group of students made to empower and promote mental health education. In our community, there have been a lot of tragedies from mental health incidents and not enough happening to prevent them. We in our community alone, just off the top of my head, have had 4 suicides in the past 2 years in high school students. Something that I've found is that the most powerful way to make a difference is through empowering student voice. It's tough because when it comes to mental health and suicide prevention, there's no single solution. I think education is our biggest bet in terms of just promoting and destigmatizing things around mental health. So we definitely try to educate people on coping techniques when it comes to mental health.
We're here just kind of spreading awareness to athletes and the hardships that they go through with whether it's injuries or just anxiety or depression or anything like that, and we're just trying to kind of shine a light on it. There's a lot of standards from coaches, from parents. There's a lot of pressure on athletes, and that has so much toll on your mental and physical body.
It wasn't really talked about before this, and I really feel like adding the club to our school just brings so much support to the issue and making people know that they're not alone.
We're really trying to promote positivity throughout our building, doing just cards of positivity, passing them out to people. We've done a yoga class to promote a healthy, active lifestyle. So I think there's no one solution to advocating besides just using our voice and educating people on the importance of the topic. Something that is, I don't want to say the word avoidable, but it can be prevented on a lot of levels if we just made more efforts to raise awareness around it.
Teaching is an honored profession and not an easy one. Since returning to the classroom post-COVID, teachers are under even more pressure to help their students while making sure they're also caring for their own mental health.
Today we are participating in a Tai Chi activity which is promoting health and awareness for ourselves and others.
Everybody breathe, that's the focus. I was facilitating an opportunity for teachers to take care of themselves. Pick Tai Chi because the benefits of it are tremendous in terms of balance, in terms of mindset. It's a combination of exercise for the body and an opportunity for exercise of the mind to acquire clarity.
Tai Chi is very difficult. Myself, I'm very fast and on the go. So being able to participate in Tai Chi, it's very slow and calming, and it gets myself relaxed because, again, I'm everywhere. So being able to be in the now for right now is a good thing.
Our guidance counselor is running SEL sessions for teachers this year. So it's social emotional learning is a big part of what we work with our students, but she's actually taking time to make sure that the teachers learn different ways to take care of themselves. We're a profession of givers, and we give our time and we give ourselves, and we concentrate on everyone else, and it's, we're kind of known for putting ourselves last. This is an important way for us to learn what works for us to take care of ourselves.
In the first session that I had, one of the things that I had them contemplate was how little things make a big difference. And what I did to illustrate that, I gave them all a marble. So I said, how much is a marble? How much does it weigh? They said, 1 gram. So I said, fine. So that's not much, right? They said, yes. So I said, now I want you to hold the marble for 5 minutes. And all of a sudden what they start to see is that even though it's a marble and doesn't weigh much, over time it will wear you out. So anything that's in your psyche, anything that's in you, as long as you carry it, will wear you out. So it was my intention to provide them with an opportunity to take whatever it is that was inside of them and put it aside so that they could have a respite, so that they could have a rest, so that when they had to pick it back up, they could do it with more vitality and energy.
Being a teacher is very stressful. It can be hard at times. It can be very tough. So it's important to have tools in your teacher toolbox that'll allow you to just be okay, allow you to be able to move through the rest of your day. It's good to have breathing exercises to do. It's good to have a moment to even just to laugh and chuckle about how we all had a hard time with Tai Chi, but that in the moment of being in your classroom, that might, bring a little bit of joy to what your day is going like.
When we can regulate ourselves and be calm in our mind, then we can meet the needs of the students.
BCPS has an entire unit that focuses on supporting student mental health. Courtney Brown is a supervisor of mental health services in the Office of Student Support Services, and she joins us now to talk about her experiences. Welcome, Courtney, and thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Roa.
So we know that the mental health issues students have had over the pandemic and shortly after they returned to school. So with that, how are students doing now, and what are any lingering feelings or emotions they're experiencing as of right now?
Some students are really thriving, being back in the classroom. Some have taken some time to adjust to get back in the classroom, and then some are really struggling. We know that students really got to practice those social emotional skills in the classroom, and so being remote for 18 months and then returning to school with masks on really did kind of impact how we interacted with each other socially. And also kind of managing behaviors in the classroom. Sometimes it's easier to control yourself and sometimes it's not. So it's just that practice time, I think, that we missed was really impactful.
Absolutely. And what are some things that BCPS is doing to support these things? And how are students and BCPS hanging on?
We had a multi-tiered system of supports, and we still have that in place right now. That helps us determine, it's a continuum or a framework that we use to make sure students receive services they need. So we have 3 tiers. Tier 1 is a universal tier, meaning all students receive this. And this could look like character education that gets taught, PBIS, different interventions like that, bullying prevention. Our Tier 2 is early intervention, and that looks like, so some students receive that. So that could be a mentoring program, that could be a lunch bunch, or a social skills group. And then we have our Tier 3, our more intensive tier, and that can look like individualized education plans or IEPs, 504s, or even just that student support teaming process and referrals to community providers.
Awesome. And will issues that we've gained during COVID or some students have experienced during COVID, do you think that they will translate into their adult lives as well?
I think the pandemic really affected all of us to varying degrees. So that being said, I think we will not forget the pandemic. But that also being said is we can still thrive from that. We talk a lot about protective factors, and these can be relationships we have or resources we have or characteristics or skills. And the good news is with protective factors, we can add them to what we already have. And we can also practice resilience and kind of develop these factors even if we may not have them. So that being said, we can bounce back. We can do things to help our students develop these skills that they will need to overcome adversity now and then as they progress.
Absolutely. And it truly is a journey and not just one moment in time. So how can our parents support students who may possibly be experiencing some mental health issues? And most importantly, just how can parents stay involved in their child's lives and their communities?
Awesome. That's a great question. So we always want to partner with our parents. I mean, we share the same goal. We want our students to be successful and happy people, and also folks that can meet the world's expectations and find success. So we really want parents to, again, you said be involved, just that, knowing about what your students doing academically, socially, if they're experiencing a problem in school, maybe help them navigate that, whether that's academic or social. If they are experiencing some behavior changes that might make you concerned, try to have those conversations or reach out to the school. Some parents are really great and have the great skills to interact and have those conversations, and sometimes it's really tough. You may not know where to start. So you do have support if you reach out to the school. Each school has either one or more school counselors and then school social workers and school psychologists. So there are resources in the building. If parents reach out to the teachers, we really want communication. That's really helpful, so we can all come together and support the student. Parents can reach out to their primary care doctors or the pediatrician to kind of see if there's any medical concerns going on, or they can also offer resources. And then we have community mental health partners in the schools. So these are our therapists that have specific permission to come into the school and provide therapy to students. So if parents are interested in that, they can always reach out to their school to see if that's available.
Absolutely. And those are wonderful resources for our students to look into, and our parents and families as well.
I want to flip the script on you, Roa.
Okay.
I was so happy to hear that you're a mental health advocate and championing all the things that we also support within student support services. So you were really an advocate for this mental health resolution that the board passed recently. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. So the board in the month of February passed a mental health resolution, and it was the first resolution of the new year. And it really prioritizes the work of mental health in schools and really puts a highlight on our student and staff mental health, making sure that we're beginning the conversation, but that we're continuing it, and that we truly are putting this in writing, that, you know, these are our commitments to our students and to our mental health. So it really opens up avenues of communication between the system and our constituents, so that students, staff, parents, and with a public-facing webpage. But it also guarantees the student voice in mental health, because our students are so valuable. So it creates a standing student seat on the Mental Health Advisory Council, which is absolutely wonderful and the step in so many right directions for mental health work.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you so much for being here and answering all of our questions.
That's my pleasure.
Feeling safe goes hand in hand with how your brain processes stress. If you visit elementary and secondary schools within Baltimore County, you will notice many have one thing in common: a safe space for students.
This is a safe space in one of our 5th grade classrooms, and as you can see, there is our safe space sign so that it's universal. Every student can locate the safe space, and then we've got different tools within.
My name is Jennifer Tolles. I'm the school counselor at Halethorpe Elementary. We call them safe places, but they've also been called calm down corners. A calm down corner, a safe place, is a place in the classroom and in classroom support where a student can take a self-directed break, where they go in and identify, express, and cope with feelings in the classroom.
Mat that shows the different breathings that they've learned starting in pre-K and kindergarten.
Especially recently, in changes in the world and things that these children have gone through and experienced, that we just saw such a need. Whereas before, a student would have to leave the classroom to get this kind of support, taking a walk, sitting with support staff, that now they're able to do it within the classroom, so they're still part of that class family. They still hear what's going on, they're still hearing instruction, they're still connected, but they're able to use those tools for themselves to help themselves feel better. And I think it's such a natural thing that they're learning how to process their emotions by themselves in a way that's healthy and appropriate.
When I'm sad, I can just like spin this or do anything, and I can relax.
Students are taught that the tools are tools and not toys. It may be a fidget, it may be a common sensory bottle, it may be a journal for them to write or to color in to express those emotions that they're feeling. And we have seen a decrease in the office referrals. When I was in elementary school, I didn't have a safe space. So I would scribble on paper, and teachers had a hard time understanding what was going on with me. So I feel like with having these safe spaces, common corners, we are equipping teachers to handle these social and emotional needs and to support the students. And so it comes from a very special place because I needed that when I was in elementary school.
It helps me because it helps the children. I'm Dr. Susan Greenberg. I work at Deer Park Elementary in a general 1st grade classroom. It's like teachers have a lot of tools in our box to connect with children. Children need tools in their box to help them get through the day. As we become more and more of an academic program, we also want to recognize that we treat the whole child, and the social emotional aspect of the children have to be addressed as well in the day. So it helps me because it gives them a place to go, and it's not disruptive. They can quietly sneak away to the safe space. They know from expectation and routine how long they're allowed to be in there.
When the kids go into the safe space, they really do regulate themselves. So it's really been fun to watch a child go, know how to set the timer, know what tools work best for them, and regulate themselves, which is obviously the ultimate goal. You know, it's easy for us to help a child regulate, but you want a child to be able to regulate themselves and get back to class. And it sort of empowers the child. You know, it makes a child feel proud of themselves.
Even the little battery-operated candles can be a calming tool. We've done a lot of teaching, and I think teachers reinforce this in their morning circles, in their class meetings. Building those strategies from kindergarten up, when you're a freshman in high school, you may not want to go to a safe space, but you'll have tools that you'll remember that worked for you, and then they can kind of easily access those tools. I think it's just having those tools and having the practice using those tools will give them practice when they're older to be able to kind of regulate their emotions independently. it's just a way to normalize it, you know, that this is okay. We all need breaks. As adults, we need breaks. As kids, we need breaks. And this is just a way where, or a place where you can go and use tools and really kind of get you back to feeling okay.
Positive and healthy relationships contribute to mental wellness. A group at Hereford High School is spreading that message by sharing One Love.
Eighth graders, let's go. Leave your stuff over here. Bring a pencil, pen, bring something to lean on.
Today we had a group of student leaders come to Hereford Middle School and present to 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. The workshops they presented were focused on healthy relationships. The program is called One Love.
You are out of harm's way. I'm Lola, and I'm a part of the One Love organization at Hereford High School. One Love is a club. It basically helps to shed light on the dangers of toxic and unhealthy relationships and all the signs that come along with relationships. And we just help to teach people in our community how to love better.
Yardley's former boyfriend forced his way into her apartment and brutally beat her to death. The Baltimore native's body was discovered face down on the bed in her college apartment.
It's so important to see the signs that led up to the very unhealthy and ultimately fatal relationship that she was in. We really focus on helping our students to see the signs of unhealthy relationships when they are first starting, so that we can combat and ultimately not have that ultimate sacrifice made.
Everybody have the signs written down? Good? Okay.
It's in the same timeline and it's also in the same era, so it's not, oh, back when I was God knows how young. It's very relatable in that time period to say that if a teacher was teaching it, they wouldn't have the effects of social media, and today we do as students, as high school students, so relaying that comfortability and commonality is really important.
You kind of have to take responsibility and be like, hey, I need to take care of myself.
I think one thing I learned is one of the statistics that said that 1 in every 3 women and 1 in every 4 men, I think it was said, experience some sort of abuse in a relationship. And I thought that was interesting because I didn't realize that so many people go through it. I thought it was kind of just like only certain people had to experience that.
The curriculum has sort of continued to develop younger and younger over the recent years, and the big message is just everyone can learn to love better, that you can love better in your friendships, even if you're not at the age where you're dating, that you can bring that same idea of respect, good communication, healthy conflict, all to all of your relationships, so that when you get to the age that you're starting to date, or develop deeper friendships, or have roommates out of town or whatever, that you can bring all those skills, you know, and bring them forward in healthy relationships throughout your future.
You have to be able to trust each other, but you're not seeing someone else behind their back, even though you're far away.
Exactly, that's a perfect one.
When we're here in the middle school, there are like some younger kids who do like to come up and talk to us, ask questions that they might not have been comfortable to do in the class. And it just shows that our work is helping.
Because I love you, I will share my interests and listen to yours.
They've been listening and understanding what we've been telling them.
We all have hopes and dreams for tomorrow. Have you ever put those dreams down on paper? A group of BCPS middle school students shows us how sketching out what you want in life can lead to a healthy tomorrow.
We're making vision boards about like our goals in life, like what we want to do later in life.
I really want dogs. I've always wanted dogs.
We believe that in order to have a bright future and know your journey is to start with a vision and have a board.
My vision board, one of them specifically, was my biggest goal, getting into a college for engineering. I think it's a pretty good idea. It allows you to remember things like, hey, I wanted to do this, let's do it. Or like be inspired to do something because of that board, you wake up to it every day.
But I really like space and stuff. That's what you're doing there.
I love that.
So My Never Matters is our movement to promote mental health awareness for students and staff and families.
Not only do vision boards let you express yourself, they let you reflect on where you are, not just physically, but also mentally. You're able to focus more on yourself and not what's around you. You're able to get into your own world.
One of my goals is going to college.
I think it's important that they believe in themselves, and lots of times in middle school, they're always wanting their peers to make decisions for them. I want the student to be able to say, this is what I want to do, not because 3 of my friends want to do that. And it's so important at this age to visualize something that's positive in their life.
The fact that they can find their voice, advocate for something that matters to them, are just important life skills to have. And the fact that they're doing that now in middle school, I think, is just so important to help them become even more powerful leaders as they get older.
I just feel like mental health and My Never Matters is a really big thing, because I know in 6th grade during COVID and stuff, I was struggling. So I feel like my mental health is bad, and I just want to help people recognize that they weren't alone and stuff, that they can talk to people if they need.
It's really what we want for our students, is to be successful but also empowered to know that they can be successful with whatever their path.
For many students, the school day can seem overwhelming. One high school is helping students take a break from the long day by joining a wellness fair.
Go ahead and make yourself comfortable as you gently close your eyes.
We're doing a wellness fair during our enrichment block today. A number of student leaders have prepared presentations to share some self-care and self-improvement ideas with their peers.
Yeah, it's very messy.
We are the staff advisors for a group called Active Minds. Their goal is to promote mental health awareness and reduce the stigma of mental health challenges and treatments and such. So there's a lot of great things that happen in this building every day to promote mental health awareness, but we wanted to just focus on it for a little bit of time and give the students an opportunity to share those ideas with each other.
One of the other things I heard was learning something new. They wanted to learn something new and take away that maybe might be helpful for them in the future.
It'll be like a bookmark now.
Yeah.
Crocheting helped me a lot with my mental health journey, so why not share it with the rest of the world? And my enrichment got completely maxed out, and I was super proud to kind of just share with people that you could have something and you could express your anger or your sadness into something so amazing.
It just brings attention to different ways that we cope with difficulties in our lives and take care of ourselves.
Thank you so much for joining us on BCPS's journey to mental wellness. To BCPS teachers, students, and staff who help us stay healthy, thank you. Remember, if you ever find yourself feeling alone, sad, scared, or just unsure, let's talk about it.